Well, we're driving down the road. Ava is writing on her iPad, her laptop, and I am driving, talking about our horses now. Talked about the age race horses. I'm going to get into the 3-year-olds now. Arrowhead, Hanover, getting close. I don't know if Tuesday's too short to bring him back. He's tight right now, feeling good. Trained great the other day. I know my plan with him is to race him a couple of times and then right before the Bunker Hill. So there's not really a necessity to qualify him, but I am going to the Meadows. It is going to be nice out. Might be a good day to let him stretch his legs a little bit and get him qualified up. We'll see. I made my mind up yet, but I think that's the way I am leaning on. Lily apparently trained ferociously good today at Northfield Park, which is good. I told you guys she needed a couple of weeks. We're coming up on 2 weeks. I knew that she'd just need a little more time because she's kind of a big filly. Just need a little more time with her, and then she'd be ready to roll. And we're at that juncture right now. Very happy with what I've seen from Aunt Lily, and even happier with what I heard this morning. Blue Ventura is hopefully going to be in Wednesday at Miami Valley. No guarantees yet. I'm trying my best to get that nailed down. It's tough to get a PA horse in a condition race or a condition claimer for that matter in Ohio right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Not positive how to play out, but we'll see in the next little bit. Well, we'll see tomorrow when they draw. Cadeau is in Tuesday, I believe. He's coming Wednesday because I can't drive him. My plan is to go to Miami Valley on Wednesday, so I have to book off our horses both at the Meadows and at Northfield Park in preparation of going to Miami Valley. Captain Incredible has been training good. I heard he trained good again this morning. Had some vet work done on him this week. We'll train him up again. Probably go Wednesday with him, I think I will go Wednesday with him. Quite frankly, I was thinking I could take him to the Meadows, but he doesn't really have to go to the Meadows yet. He can stay right at Northfield Park. Century Legion trained much, much better the other day, but I see he did not get in on Wednesday. That is frustrating. So we'll see if we can't get him in somewhere in the time being. I don't know where. I'm going to have to call Tim and call Stacy, see if they have anything, anywhere that they can put him in. We'll see. That's where I'll leave it. Chicago Hall was absolutely awesome today. I trained him with James and I went down to Mohawk. It was windy. It was cold. My feet froze. But I trained Chicago Hall. I went with Resolve Indeed. James went with Chicago Hall, and both were extremely strong training this morning. I was very, very happy with the way both of them trained, and actually James was thoroughly pleased with Chicago Hall also, which makes me very happy. Country dancing, not the start I wanted at the Meadows. I had outlined exactly what I thought went wrong the other day in depth in a number of videos. In short, I think her hobbles were a bit long for the 5/8. I think the winter cork on a summer track was problematic, and maybe she needed a little vet work done too. So 3 components to a pretty flat mile the other day, and very rough, unsightly looking mile. But I think you'll see a great improvement from her this week. And if you don't, I'll make it real simple. If we don't see a great improvement from her this week, now that Foxy Seaside is down for a couple of weeks, I'm more apt to just send her right back to Ontario to keep rolling for the next little while. You know, you might look at it and say, well, why would you do that? Well, my job is to make sure she's in the right place to do the best work and make the most money. And from what I can see, unless I see a huge jump in improvement from her at the Meadows, maybe on the 7/8 mile track, staying for a little bit might make the most sense. Dancing by myself trained very good. One might say a little too good this morning. Might be a little hard on him going into his Tuesday race, but we'll see. Nevertheless, I guarantee you he'll be tight for Tuesday's mile, that's for sure. Fire and Shine is in tonight at Northfield. My only concern would be track was closed abruptly on Wednesday and Thursday, so we couldn't train her in between starts. We'll see how she races Sunday night or tonight. I have my concerns. I think she might be a little short coming in, but we'll see. She's been training down good and looking good. Foxy Seaside has been awesome, and quite frankly, all things considered, was awesome again last night. You can beat a lot of things, but you can't beat bleeding. and she bled a little bit last night. We can manage it quite simply with some Lasix. It won't be a problem, and then we'll continue on our way with our girl Foxy. She needed a short break anyway, so it fits right in the time frame. She'll have 2.5, 3 weeks off right now, 2.5 back. Race her once, maybe twice before the stakes. I'm not saying which ones yet. She'll tell us before the stakes start in the state of Ohio, and it should be that much better for it. I can almost guarantee you that. Freedom Hill trained very strong 2 weeks ago. Her qualifier looked okay on paper, not great, but okay. I think there's a lot more under the hood. She trained very, very good last week for me, and I think we'll come back with a stiff schooler with her on Thursday, and then make our decision where we're going to start her. Gaslight Hall galloped awesome the other day. I'll come back Tuesday or Wednesday with him, another galloping session. We'll gallop him for 2 weeks. Pretty strong. Not over the top, not push him. Let him tell us where he's comfortable going. That was his first time ever galloping the other day, at least in as I said, a structured situation. We'll come back again this week, see what he feels like, how he wants to go, and then rinse and repeat for probably the following week, 10 days after that. Maybe put him in the race bike and go a mile in 2.8 or 2.10 and get a feel where he's at overall at that point. That's the plan with Gaslight. Gorgeous Package qualified very, very strong yesterday and trained every bit as strong the week before. She'll come back with another very strong training mile before we race her. Not sure where we're going to start her yet. I'm hopeful that there's an Elmers of 4, Fillies and Mares 5 at some point lurking around that we can get her in. But we'll see how that plays out. No, I'm not positive yet. I know they are trained Grand Old Chap 2 trips today, so he must have been happy with him. Jason said, I saw him go out. He didn't say anything when he came in, so obviously he would have said something if he wasn't as good as he'd hoped. So I'm happy with speed limit 64.5 here. Why is my car saying, yeah, it is 65, it just changed. Grand Old Chat, or Grand Slam Dio trained good today also. 2.9 in the jog card, just slow enough actually that I could probably pop her back and come bring her over to the Meadows and school her on Tuesday. That very well may happen. I'm not positive. We'll see. We'll see all about that this week. Right? There's a lot of moving parts for this week coming up that I have not locked in place. Gymboree, here's a newsflash. I think she'll probably win the maiden next week. How's that? Lots to offer. Very fast. I know. It was almost worth her making a break for me to make fun of James a little bit and razz him. But truth be told, he learned a lot. She didn't learn as much, but he learned a lot. And I think she'll be coming in much, much better for her next start because of it. Manhattan Money qualified the other day. I suspect you'll see him qualify again this week, a second qualifier. We'll see him tackle the non-winners of 2, I believe he'll have to fit at Mohawk. And then after that, we'll see how things go for Manhattan Money. Melisandre, my biggest hope this week. Not hope, that's the wrong word. Most exciting thing that this week coming up, I'm interested. I'm all in. I'm interested to see how Melisandre qualifies on Tuesday. I like this filly. She went from, I don't know about this filly to, she's still worth a lot of money as a brood mare. Maybe we should breed her too. She's not bad right now. She's trotting very, very good. So I'm super eager to see how Melisandre qualifies on Tuesday morning. Memento Mori is training good also. Not quite to that schooling stage. He's getting there, but not quite. If I'm going to be completely honest, he could make an appearance in Ontario with the non-winners of 3, I think. 4, 5. He could go to the Meadows. Well, he can fit Northfield non-winners of 4 for that matter. He can go anywhere. Go to Yonkers. He can go anywhere. So at some point in the next week or so, when we really start looking at putting him in the race bike and going a decent mile, because he's getting close, we're going to have to look at his trajectory. What are we doing with Memento Mori? Where do we see him going? What's his schedule look like? And that's where we're at right now with Memento Mori. Mountaineer Prince is coming to the Meadows, and he'll be in full work mode for the next little while. And as I told Jason, if he wants to make a break, there has to be consequences, and that means work immediately after. He's going to have to work through these things. This is everything you heard me say last year. The only difference is he's not 2 now, and he will do a lot of work over the next little while to square him away. The most frustrating thing about Mountain Prince is there doesn't appear to, you could train him with just a set of trot boots on, and he might go out and train great. Then you go out and train him next week, he'd run. Put the hobbles on him, he might run again. Change his gear around, he might run again. And there's no particular reason why. There's certainly no lameness or soreness that I can discern, I can find. Doctor Tessa can. Now he does have a splint. I shouldn't say that. He does have a splint that might be biting him, that we have to get cryoed. We'll see if that's it or not. Never Lose Felix. We already know his problem. He bled a little bit the other day. He'll be on Lasix for his next start. He should be peaking as we go into the final of the series. Oh, he'll know. It was good last night. Running in a little bit late. Dom's going to get a little vet work done on her, but really happy with what I've seen from Oh, he'll know. How couldn't you be? She just got picked off by our other horse. If you're going to get beat, fine. Get beat by one of our other horses. She did. Rosetta was the winner. Oh, he'll know was second. Resolve Indeed was very, very good training this morning. Super happy with what I saw. Her and Chicago Hall will school this Friday. I suspect that'll be followed by 2 qualifiers, and then they'll be literally off to the races. Rosa and AJ and Rosa and Alexandra, I'll speak of them in the same light because now Alexandra was interfering, hitting her knee last night. We're going to make a few more changes. If she can't get away from that knee at Mohawk, maybe it's a flat track, who knows? And then she'll be on her way back to Ohio. Rosa and AJ's in tonight. I'm eager to see how he races. Good luck to all my partners. Rosetta was awesome last night. Jody drove her great. And as I said to him, she's no joke. She's a good filly. And as I was explaining to James and everybody last week, yes, we could take the easy way out and race her on a smaller track. I want to take the high road. She's eligible to a lot of stakes on bigger tracks. She needs to learn how to stretch out and trot on a bigger track. That's going to take a lot of confidence, a lot of hard work, and definitely the last 2 weeks were a huge bounce forward for Rosetta. Speed of Sound is back training this Wednesday. Dominic said she looks good, so I'm happy to hear that. Westland Warrior was one of the lower points of last week. Very disappointed when I see a horse quote just put in a poor performance with a certain amount of ignorance rubbed into it. It bothers me. It annoys me, and I'm going to be honest. Westland Warrior is going to have to pull up his socks, or he'll be heading for the condition claiming ranks. That's for sure. I think this horse has the ability to be some sort of a stake horse. I think he has the ability to trot good, but he has to want to do it. And he's still, the other day when he tried to pull up a little bit with the qualifier, coming to the 5/8 turn, kind of drifted out into the 2-wide lane. And then again the other day in the last turn, that's just hoggery. To be honest, just needs to do a better job. Focus on your work and get it done. So hopefully we can put a little work into him over the next couple of weeks and sway his popular opinion about racing. That was Warrior. Woodmere Betcha is training right now in PEI. She's been in 26 last week. I suspect 2022, something like that, with Smitty this week. She'll be ready to go probably as the track starts getting really good in Charlottetown. I suspect middle of April, first part of May. Should be exciting again. She had a great start to her career. A little flat the last 2 times she raced, but really, really good leading up to then. We'll see how our girl, Woodmere Betcha, handles everybody in the East Coast this year. Those are your 3-year-olds. I only get the 2-year-olds left. I'm going to get to them right now and talk to everybody. Very in-depth 2-year-old report coming your way in just a second.